I would want to know too.
Thank you.
You know, you're always making salads.
Big
I'm always
salad
eating
guy.
salads. Yeah. It's not my day though. Not my day to make salads.
We're going to be eating something a little different today.
Oh,
I'm excited about that. Hey there, and thank you so much for joining us here on KARE 11 News at noon. It's a great day out and even better vibes here in the studio. You know that we have to talk about the Timberwolves. We're a day out from their first game at home in this playoff series against Denver. Lots of people talking. CC, a lot of attention is on the U today as well.
Right, there's a Regents meeting right now, and there's potential for a big in-state tuition increase for students. So that's a big talker.
And this weather, how can you not talk about it?
Yeah, it's nice today, but certainly a lot cooler, right? Kind of a crisp northeast wind that we're feeling out there today. But we are going to see more sunshine. We started off the day with more cloud cover. Some spotty showers basically stayed to our east into Wisconsin in the far southeastern corner of the state. I do think we will continue to stay on the brighter side as we head deeper into the day. But notice it's a little breezy, and today that wind is right out of the northeast, anywhere between 15 and 20 miles per hour. So a gusty northeast wind. Temperatures are already running more than 10 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. So yesterday we made it into the 70s. I believe 75 was our high. Well, today we're going to be mainly in the mid 60s for highs. Here's your hour by hour forecast. Again, mid 60s. We will stay on the mostly sunny side. No chances for rain, at least for today. But we do have a couple of small opportunities at seeing some showers both Friday and again on Sunday. So here's your weather headlines. Cooler and breezy today. A few showers Friday afternoon, maybe a few rumbles of thunder as well, but nothing severe is in the forecast. And a mild, mostly dry weekend with the exception of a few showers on Mom's Day. We'll talk about a almost summer-like end to the weekend. Yeah, we'll talk about it coming up, Alexis.
We'll take it. Thanks, Ben. Our top story, a critical meeting is about to get underway at the University of Minnesota, and it could lead to the biggest tuition hike in years. Cece, you're following this story for us right now. What can you tell us?
Yeah, so that meeting you mentioned happening at 2, so in just a couple of hours. So the board will meet about the interim president's recommended budget, but I want to get into what we can expect. So the biggest thing that stood out from the recommended budget is students could be looking at a higher cost to get their degree. The budget for the next fiscal year is suggesting a 4.5% tuition hike. That hike would be for in-state undergrad students studying at the Twin Cities campus. Now, if the board approves that hike, this would be the highest annual tuition increase for Minnesota residents since 2010. So stick around, because when I see you again in 30 minutes, I'll be breaking down the numbers and letting you know how much more your student will pay if this hike is approved. But again, a big talker amongst parents, students, residents.
Absolutely. Tuition is a big conversation in our household as well. Thank you, Cece. Well, officials are working to make Dinkytown, the neighborhood around the university, safer. Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty says her office is ready to respond to a string of violence in the area. In the last 24 hours, her office released a statement saying that they're working with nearby law enforcement agencies, saying students should feel safe on campus. They went on to say none of the recent incidents have been referred to them for charges, but they are ready to review them quickly if they are. In response, an MPD spokesperson says the department is working closely with the attorney's office, UMPD, and community groups, and that investigations like these require patience and perseverance. Well, today we know more about what happened the moments before a St. Paul police shooting that left a woman dead. Officers say on Monday night, police were called to a report of a suicide in progress. Police say while talking to the woman in crisis, she pointed a gun at them, and that's when officers shot and killed her. They say the timing of the call made it harder for the mental health response team to step in. The department has 3 people who help in these situations, but they work during the day. For evening calls, officers usually try to stabilize someone so their teams can come back the next day.
When we have someone that wants to harm themselves, all of our focus goes on to how can I get there as fast as I can so that I can create an intervention to hopefully interrupt that process.
All St. Paul police officers are trained on crisis intervention. The department says it will release body camera video of the incident soon. Well, we're also following new details from the BCA about a deputy-involved shooting in Chanhassen last Saturday. These are the 2 names of the Carver County Sheriff's deputies who shot a man while responding to a domestic incident. One has 4.5 years of law enforcement experience. The other has 19 years. The BCA says a man came out of the house and ran toward the deputies while holding a knife. They opened fire after he ignored commands to drop the knife. The man is now stable. BCA investigators are looking through footage from that incident. Key testimony continues today in the Feeding Our Future fraud trial for some of the people accused in what's being called the biggest fraud case to come out of the pandemic. Audrey Russo shows us what we'll learn today.
Admitted fraudster Hadith Ahmed is back in federal court right now. He's facing a second day of cross-examination using his knowledge of the $250 million Feeding Our Future fraud to expose others. Feeding Our Future was the nonprofit that oversaw pandemic meal sites for kids. Ahmed told prosecutors he was essentially double dipping. First, he says he set up a fake meal site to receive $1 million in very real taxpayer dollars. Ahmed said he received an additional $1 million as an employee of Feeding Our Future by taking kickbacks from the other defendants on trial to make sure their invoices got paid first. Much of Ahmed's testimony centered on former Feeding Our Future executive director Amy Bach. He described himself as her right hand. Ahmed claims he and Bach saw evidence of other phony meal sites, like lists faking names of children supposedly being fed. He says they looked the other way because the more meal sites on paper meant more funding that they would get. Bach is not on trial right now, but she will face a judge at a later date. And though he's helping the prosecutors, Ahmed is still facing up to 4 years in prison on the charge of conspiracy to commit wire fraud. Alexis?
Audrey, thank you. Hey, take a look at this video out of Newport showing the devastation left after a fire tore through a business yesterday. Washington County officials say it started from a vehicle fire. It then spread to a commercial building on Tibbetts Avenue just off Highway 10. We're still working to find out if anyone was hurt. In less than 5 hours, we'll hear directly from Brooklyn Park city leaders about key projects and initiatives underway. Mayor Hollis Winston is set to give the State of the City address. It's free to go to at the Community Activity Center. The program starts at 6, doors open at 5:30. On Capitol Hill, lawmakers are calling for the chair of the FDIC to resign. It follows a report released earlier this week detailing sexual harassment, discrimination, and bullying within the agency. The report is based on interviews with more than 500 employees. It does not say the chair was the only person responsible for the issues. If he steps down, it could mean significant ramifications for banks across the country. Well, just about 48 hours after the current Miss USA stepped down from her position, Miss Teen USA is also resigning. In a social media post, she said that her personal values no longer fully align with the direction of the organization. Miss USA, Noelia Voigt, stepped down to focus on her mental health as well. The pageant says that it supports the decision of both title holders.